We have LazerPig chat. We have Eat the Rich. I need to see what the funny pig talks about.
Greetings, I am a man, presumably. Have you ever met a rich
Aren't
person?
you a pig,
I mean,
though?
like a really rich person. Not some dickwank boomer who became a plumber at 14 and spent all his money on scratch cards and holiday homes in Mallorca. What? Disaster.
Bro!
Their two basic as fuck daughters. I mean, like, a really rich guy. So rich every time they go to wipe their ass, they've made more money just on the interest on the spare change they have rooting around under the sofa.
Yeah.
You know the type. Look, I come from a city where there are quite a lot of rich asshole businessman types rolling around, and since I lived quite close to a place where a lot of them had their little prestige offices,
castle.
I would see them pretty regularly, rolling around in their stripy shirts, slapping each other in the back, and starting fights at McDonald's. And I started to notice a pattern with these chuckle fucks. Outside of all the dressing roughly the same, was that they were all buying Porsches. I know they drove Porsches because they would sit and rev the engine anytime they were stopped until at least one girl looked at them. I mean, I don't know what the girl was thinking at the time. I hear a loud engine rev and look up to see a shiny, expensive convertible and a bald, flabby man staring back at you with a grin that would have me reaching for the pepper spray. What I began to notice was that these guys were all driving the same car, a Porsche Cayman. Also known as the cheapest Porsche on the market. This is the budget end of the luxury car scene. And to put that in perspective, here is the cheapest Ferrari. The reason for this was easy. The shirts, the fancy gold watches, the big offices in the center of a historic city, the fancy car. It was all show, all a display. They were in a sense peacocking, but not for the benefit of rich clients who wouldn't be impressed with all this bullshit in the slightest. No, it was for the benefit of each other. They couldn't afford to peacock with the big boys, the true rich bitches, hence the cheap Porsche and the stilliony McDonald's, so they enclosed themselves into a tight community of business clowns, each trying to outdo the other with what is essentially wank fashion. These men were the kings of Tribe Little Dick, adorning themselves with the cheapest and tiny dick fashion as they eagerly leapt and bounded towards their inevitable sexual harassment lawsuit. Their dicks now so small they were invisible to the naked eye, and could only be viewed on a clear day via the Hubble Space Telescope. As I stood behind one in line, today, waiting for my chicky nuggies, rolling my eyes as he proclaimed loudly about how many shares he had in the company and thus how many of the servers he technically owned, I felt my mind begin to wonder. Are the big boys like this? The real rich people? When you get beyond the tiny dick tribe and into the real numbers of richness, you know, the people that can afford to wipe their ass with a really soft toilet paper, the luxury shit on the top shelf that's always in the purple package. You know, billionaires. I looked into it, and I spent a long time looking into the lives of the rich and the fabulous, and well, it's not much different. I mean, there is a tipping point where simply looking rich and having the prestige tokens simply wasn't enough. You had to actually be rich, and being rich meant wearing your bank account. Your clothes, your car, your house, what you or it looked like didn't matter. All that mattered was the price tag. And in this community, the bigger it was, the more powerful you became. Moist Critical recently showed a $39 million apartment in New York.
Wow.
The apartment was trending since it was, as he so rightly pointed out, shit. The layout was awful, the decor was tragic, the view non-existent.
It looks bad!
The finish of the apartment was so bland, I honestly thought at first it was just being used for storage. But the agent showing us around was nothing but enthusiastic. Now, I've been to a lot of viewings as a filthy doomer millennial adult, but what we mostly talk about is how much is the rent, are there pets allowed, and is there sufficient closet space for my massive collection of avocados that I spend all the millions I make working minimum wage at Burger King on. This bitch doesn't do any of that. She's enthusiastic, so enthusiastic to tell you what everything is made out of. This is onyx, this is Japanese maple, this is marble, that is marble, everything is marble, I'm made of marble.
The word that comes to mind is, like, decadence. Like Callus from Destiny 2, this is the vibe. Just over extravagance. Like, I mean, like, that's the thing. If I make my first, like, mill off YouTube, right? I mean, you know what I'm doing with that shit? I'm making sure that money's gonna make other money. I'm making sure that I pay off my fucking parents' mortgage. I'm not gonna fucking go and buy, like, a giant fucking fuck-off mansion or car or fucking this. Like, there is a point of just over decadence. It's, like, it is posturing, and it's playing the game. Don't get me wrong, I understand it. Like, you're playing the game, in order to be in with the crowd, right, you need to buy the Porsche, you need to get the Armani suits, right, you need to get all of these things, extra, decadence, extravagance. I get it, you play the game to associate with success. there's just so much more that you could fucking do with that money, though. Like, do I need all $1 million? Arguably, no. I mean, it'd be cool to have it as a backup in my account, right? Like, yeah, it'd be nice. I don't know. This is make a mill. Went out to the country stock, right? And that's the thing, Beret. It's just like there's so much more you could do with it. And yes, arguably you should have your money do things for you, right? And and this is just my not financial advice, my own opinion, right? Like I would love to have it make its own revenue in what ways that it can, whether that's buying physical assets, whatever. I'm not super into investing in crypto or anything like that. That's just personal preference on my part. There's just no, and it's not War Dog. That's the thing. Is $1 million in 19, even just in like 2000 and whatever. Early 2000s is way fucking more than it is $1 million today, which is, $1 million in like the early 1900s is way fucking more. $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to. So I just see overindulgence like this, and it just kind of just makes my head hurt. Just like, really? This is what you want to do with your time, your money? Like, really?
Floor below the apartment must be nothing but
really
steel girders reinforcing the
neat.
crap out of this marble.
This is just bad. It looks bad.
Nightmare. But in spite of how tasteless
or
and
objectively,
this hunk of trash is, it's sold, and someone is currently living in it.
Wow.
Why? Because the price tag is all that matters.
Exactly, Voracious. Money is a means to an end for me.
$39 million apartment in New York. They
not being in debt is good.
About what everything is made out of. And that's all this apartment is. No one's going to be living in it, at least not full time.
It's an asset.
Right, which is why there are so many bars and entertainment lounges. The only people who are going to see the inside of this house are the prostitutes he's going to call at 2 a.m. who are going to be so coked out of their brain, they probably won't notice the god-awful craftsmanship in the Onyx bar there.
Got him.
I'm pretty confident Onyx is black. But you have here
It's okay, it's not 39 million.
Onyx. This is the cruel trick that nature plays on the hyper-rich. The smug belief that you are the epicenter of style and sophistication, while being so far beyond it, it's almost parody, also known as the Adina Monsoon Syndrome. But these people have lived in a world where they have solved all of their problems by throwing money at stuff.
But money solving your issues only goes so far.
Former supermodel wife sagging slightly, boom, plastic surgery. Dumb kids dumb as fuck, boom, private tutor. The slow realization that you are not a unique and creative person, that your friends don't laugh at your jokes as hard. They've all started to move on with their lives, that the phone never rings as much anymore, that the waitress has already heard all your jokes.
I could
so much
see
so that their
gotcha.
entire subreddits dedicated to how annoying it is to hear them over and over from the millions of guys just like you.
Okay, I need to fucking read this because this might actually make me upset. Young female servers. My tried and true method for getting that middle-aged guy to stop being sleazy. Okay, let's see here. This only works if he's making slightly vague remarks, trying to get a rise out of you or get his friends to laugh. As we know, the majority of these guys aren't in it to actually get your number or go on a date with you. It's all about power. Okay, that actually makes sense. When one of these older... I thought this was from a Karen actually complaining about servers. Okay, this has changed my perspective on this. One of those guy comes in with his golf buddies trying to show off, here's how I handle it. After he makes a gross comment and you feign laughter, politely reintroduce yourself and ask his name. No matter what he responds, reply exactly, that's my dad's name. If you can somehow ask if he has children around your age, that doubles the shame factor. I have yet to see this backfire. So that's actually really neat. I actually kind of like that. Canned by bacon, you're correct.
The parties you go to are now all about networking. As you get older, your boyish good looks are being replaced with grey hair, a flabby body, and a dull, plain, boring clothes.
Right.
You've finally done the most adult thing you can do, which is learn to get over yourself.
Got him.
You're not some gifted, amazing, out-there guy going against the herd that you thought you were when you were 15.
Nah, you just had a fucking
You're the
silver
same
spoon
as
in your
everybody else, doing the same shit, thinking the same shit, except you are more boring because you won't shut up about it. You've based your entire personality on being someone special. Now that's gone, you have nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, Lamborghini. Now all those are very specific examples, but I think the ultimate example of just how generic and boring the rich are super yachts. Super yachts are the ultimate expression of wealth, the final flex. You see these fucking things everywhere, and they all look the fucking same.
Yeah, they do.
White, shiny, with a lot of big glowy lights and blacked out windows.
Boat.
They're all so generic that this one with the blue hull is probably the most original mega yacht I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even concept art for future boats honestly looks like someone just dropped a paper mache model on the floor and said, yeah, that'll work. Sometimes you see real concepts for amazing looking ships, and even luxury submarines, floating palaces with gardens, you name it.
Neat.
But they never build those.
Yeah.
They just build this.
Yeah.
Over and over
awful.
and over. Like there's some company out there just rubber stamping these shit pylons out. You compare this to the world of canal boats. Canal boats are a thing you really only see in the UK and places like Amsterdam and the Low Countries. Occasionally in places like France. These things are about 55 foot long and 7 foot wide. A shipping container home has more space than these things, and they break down continuously. Like, I'm not kidding. I have one of these things, and I can't even begin to tell you how many fucking times it's broken down. How many times I've been up to my ass in engine grease trying to find out which one of the many shit pipes has broken off this time, and why literal shit is volcanoing itself out of the toilet and into the cabin. These things were built in the 70s by men to whom ideas like refrigeration and electricity were some newfangled invention they just couldn't quite wrap their heads around. To the super yacht, these are nothing. These are a joke. Laughable. You couldn't be further away from the luxury offered to you by Mega Yacht unless you were on a fucking fishing trawler, and those things at least work. And yet, when you look at canal boats, I dare you to find two that look the same.
No, that's fair.
Each one is different, both interior and exterior. Each one a different name, a different color, all built to reflect the general personality and
that's kind of cool, actually.
Some even have weird, wacky designs. Now compare that to these things.
It's so
now,
generic.
what's that, sir? Oh, a black coat. Oh, sir's adventures today, isn't it? Sir, shit. And of course, it's doing them no favors, with the only real criteria for winning the Mega Yacht Show-Off competition is having a bigger boat.
Yeah.
So let us now go to the south of France, to a city so nice it's called...
Nice.
Well, that.
Nice.
This is the center of the French Riviera, one of the most exclusive vacation destinations in the world. A home to so many mega yachts, the locals refer to it as a plague. This is one of the major epicenters of the exclusive parties of billionaires and gold diggers.
Like, why?
This is where Happy Meals come with coupons for liposuction. This is where swimsuit models come to breed. So let's imagine this is you. Let me just put that. Okay, so imagine this is you, some gorgeous swimsuit model lounging the beach. Shut up, I look fabulous. Now, let's say you're old for a swimsuit model, maybe, I don't know, 1920. Positively a veteran. Your day is spent lounging on the beach, lounging on the back of some old rich guy's boat, attending parties, private functions, having your photograph taken, etc.
Is it bad that I thought that was Ahegao print? Like, my brain just auto-corrected that print to Ahegao print? What has the internet done to me?
Swinging from luxury hotel to exclusive bar all night. You've been here for years. You know everyone. Everyone knows you. You're
My brain
on the
is
guest
checked
list
out.
at every club in town. So of course, by now, you've seen it all. You've seen every make and model of boat. You've seen their insides. You've felt the sheets of every bed. So when two new boys roll into town in their new mega yachts, who is catching your eye? LD Cunt in his $100 million White Eagle cruiser, or the man who turns up next to him in his 1-to-1 scale replica of the SS Great Eastern.
Okay, that's based, though.
19,000 tons of iron and steam, with a wheel the size of the Chilean economy and a horn louder than a Tumblr blogger who's been lightly offended.
Wow!
The big black cock of the ship rolls into harbor, and I guarantee no one's looking at Mr. White plastic shit over there. You just got flexed on, and I shall bask in the light glinting of your sad tears as I roll past twirling my mustache.
Legend.
Now let's get back to you, sweet cheeks. You see us flexing over each other, but whose party are you coming to tonight?
Clearly the steamboat.
That's what I thought. What I got. I'll get her ass and show him what I got. Can't read, boy, he can't read, boy. No, he can't read, boy. Oh, her face. She's got me like nobody. I need me. Fucking.
So hear me out, though. Real talk, right? We're actually gonna cut that one. So hear me out, right? You know what's better than going to fuck off Yachtport? You know what's literally fucking better than that? Go backpacking across Europe. Probably way cheaper. Go to some dream place you've always wanted to go to. For me, I want to go to Japan at some point. You know, I had a weird thought, and I explained this last stream. Like, I had a weird thought. Like, I'm just like, I have this weird feeling that I'll probably be moving to Japan at some point. I can't base that in anything other than just a weird feeling. Like, you can do so much else. Hike the Appalachian Trail, yeah, absolutely. Apparently at night too, right? I hear night noise in the Appalachian Mountains are pretty okay, right? Like, you can do so many other things in life. Go to a gun range in Japan. Yeah, there's no gun range. That's fair though. And then that's fine. That's not the point. Like, you can do so many other things with a fraction of that money. Like, that is sure a big boys playground. I can tell you right now, if I came into all that money tomorrow, right, and I was able to go to that port, I would not feel at home. I would feel like an outsider. I'd feel like a stranger. Because at that point, it's just not the people I want to be around. I don't want to be around people that have to put up fronts all the time, put up airs. People that are constantly playing this office politics game, you know, just flexing money on each other. You know, it's just not in my prerogative. Obviously, you know, from down here, you know, obviously I can be like, yeah, no, I mean, you know, be critical. I just don't see any point to the game, if that makes sense. I would rather do this. I would rather go places. I would rather meet people. I've said, you know, I'd love to go to Kazakhstan. I think it'd be cool to meet some of the people there. I'd love to go to places in China even. You know, not, you know, like, obviously political tensions, not getting political, right? But just meeting people from around the world. I have people from many different countries that I talk to through content creation, and that's so fucking cool to me. So imagine, like, oh, I can just go to Australia for a week. And then, you know, not have to worry about money or anything like that, right? That's what I want to do instead. This just doesn't appeal to me. Like, there's just a point of over-decadence. I don't get it. My brain just doesn't really understand that.